Hello, students. This is Quigley coming to you over video now because I want to show you something in Soundtrap. So check this out. I want to point out one thing first. See these numbers up here? You probably noticed these before, but I want to name what these are. These are actually called measure numbers or bar numbers. We can think of bars or measures as like little units of music, like blocks of music, and we kind of see that here in Soundtrap. Like you see this like little block right here, another block there. The fancy name for that is measures or bars. And what I want to point out with this piece of music is how it evolves over time. I don't just give you the song all at once. If we take a look, there's only one thing here. Then we have two kinds of sounds here. I'll let you just take a listen to it. Here we go. Thank you for listening to that. So basically, every two measures, that's why I called this 2x2, every two measures, something new happens. So at first, we have just the kick drum, and then snare on the 2 and 4. And then we have the hi hat coming in here. Then we have a slightly more complicated hi hat at measure 7. And then we have at measure 9, we have our bass line come in. Then we have a little melody over here at measure 12. And another thing I want to point out that is cool to know is you might have noticed this little zigzagging line that I have both on my bass and my melody. This is called automation. And I get automation. I can do this in any DAW. I'm just showing it in Soundtrap now. Do you see this little zigzaggy thing that I'm pointing to? Show hide automations. In Soundtrap, because Soundtrap is a little bit simpler, they make things easier to access. You can only automate a few things, but in other DAWs like GarageBand or whatever else, you can automate just about anything. And automation is basically when you tell the computer to like turn knobs for you. In a traditional studio, there'd be literal knobs on things that you turn, and automation is when the computer is basically turning these electronic knobs for you. And it can be a cool way just to program in some little changes or things like that that can make your song sound a little bit more professional. In this case, I was doing a filter sweep. A filter is a kind of effect, but you can automate other things. So you can automate here in Soundtrap, you can the panning, which is like the left to right, if you want to hear it in just your left headphone or left speaker or right, so on and so forth. And then volume, if you want to like slowly bring in the sound of something. You can of course do a fade in, but there's another. If you wanted to get more complicated with it, say if you want to have a little bit more of a zigzag to it or something. Anyway, I've been talking too much. Thank you for listening, and I would encourage you to bring these things into your music making this week. Take care. Bye.